Well, hello again. Valentine's Day is just around the corner, and Chubs Gone Wild is here on episode 481, recorded February 13th, 2023, to remind you that you are worthy of love. All you have to do is take it. Look around the world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say somewhere they had to step in like, you're gonna make it after all. All right. It is currently 64 degrees and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild studios, which means it's about 80 degrees and still and sunny in my room at the
Oh
moment.
my God, it's so
Eh,
cold. I'm waiting for it to warm up. Yesterday we got up to 70.
wow, that's amazing. We usually keep our thermostat at 70, so which is really weird because at nighttime I sit here and freeze, and yet in the daytime I'm like, oh my God, I need my fan. Why? Why? And by fan, I mean my person who comes by and gets on his knees and stop it, stop it, and worships me and gives me chocolates. Anyway, speaking of chocolate, it is one day till Valentine's Day. Yay! It is also 260 days till Halloween and 315 till chocolate caramel assortment of, oh, is that what your hubby brought to you for Valentine's
I
Day?
got this at Christmas.
And you still have it? You are weird. Okay, and it's also 315 days until Christmas. Speaking of, chocolate works good for any of those holidays.
Except for summer month holidays.
Summer month and melting some chocolate. I'll eat it before it ever gets a chance to melt.
Well, no, they won't ship, they like QVC won't ship anything between
Right.
April and I think it's October.
Yeah, even Amazon doesn't like to ship chocolate during that time, but it will. But you have to deal with the mess.
Yeah, with me, if I'm going to get chocolate during that time period, I'm going to go get chocolate and transfer it myself. It'll be at the store, it'll be at
Right.
C's. Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what you need to do is you need to have Clint pick you up a 2 pack at a C's candy. What they you get 2 pounds of C's candy.
Hmm.
You get a certificate for it. And
Uh-huh.
then what you can do is you could go into C's and build your own box of chocolates.
Now that sounds very fun. However, do you know how much a 2 pound box of chocolate is from C's right now?
Uh-huh. And that's
It
why
is.
you get the certificate at Costco.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, the
Because
cost.
it is because I remember back when I was, doing that kind of stuff back when, a few years ago, you could get 2 pounds for I want to say it was like $22. And now it's like, if
It's
you
like
go in, it's like what, 40 a piece. Let me look right
yeah.
now. I'm gonna go look at C's
Because
and give
I
you.
looked at it recently and I was like, oh hell no, I'm not asking anybody to get me C's, but C's is the best candy. And guess what, Mr. Clint got me for Valentine's Day yesterday? That's right. He got me one of the little hearts of candy, and
Oh,
oh
please
my
let it be. Please let it be the right what company? Please let it be the right company.
geez,
Oh, it was C's. Okay,
it
so
was C's. Oh yes, and let me tell you, he was like, this was much more expensive than it used to be, and I'm like, yes, but I love you even more now because it was brilliant. It was absolutely the best chocolate. Oh, I just love it. Mm. Okay, sorry, I had to take a moment there. So, uh, well, okay, we'll continue while you're looking that up. But please continue looking that up. It should be directly on. Is it? Are you going to Costco or C's?
I'm looking at C's just to see what their regular
Okay.
prices are.
Well, Mr. Moose wrote in. I have no idea why, but he said, "What a wonderful surprise! I'm thrilled to be your Valentine." Oh,
Yay,
let's do
yay.
the winner! Yay! I'm thrilled to be your Valentine, and the chocolate dipped cookies are are such a decadent treat. Thank you so much, and hope both of you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, Moose. And he sent a picture of the chocolates, which I put up on Facebook within the What's in Your Lunchbox. And they do look really good too. I was hoping they would. But thank you to everybody that entered this year. Appreciate it. And remember that next year we'll have another chance for you to be our chubby Valentine. Well, we'll be your chubby Valentine. All you have to do is be the Valentine. It's all good. You don't even have to put out or anything. It's great. Okay. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our amazing current Valentine's Day patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sauce, and from the universe. Eric, Sean, Charles, Brothers and Adis, Phoenix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. And please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can be a patron of all of our projects for as little as $1 a month. Anything? No, nothing. Okay. So, and there have been a few things posted over there, including a new My Life in Fragments podcast. On February 13th, 1923, the New York Renaissance, that's what it says, the New York Renaissance, the first all-black professional basketball team is organized. The Renaissance, commonly called the Wrens, became one of the dominant teams of the 1920s and 30s. The team's founder was Robert L. Douglas. Pretty cool. All right. Now take a moment, step back, release the problems of the world, take a deep breath. Limitations are merely opportunities to grow. I use them as stepping stones to success. Are you doing a Marjorie Taylor Greene impression over there?
Yawning?
Yeah, well, had your mouth open while your head's to the sky, being "Ah!"
That was just yawning.
Oh, okay. So anyway, use that yawn as an opportunity to grow and a stepping stone to success. All right. Well, let's see if we celebrated any holidays today. We will tomorrow, but we already know that one. Today, it's clean out your computer day. I have been doing this. That is good. Also, dream your sweet. What? Dream your sweet. All right.
Your sweet what?
Dream your sweet day. I don't know.
Oh, dream like I had pineapple last night, so my cum tastes good.
I don't know if we need.
Hey,
What?
that was a bad
I
face.
just never got any benefit from that. Anyway, employee
What,
legal
my cum?
awareness. Employee Legal Awareness Day, girl. Oh, it's Galentine's Day. What are you gooning? Girl,
What's Galentine's Day?
I don't know. If only we had a way to look that up.
Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet it's when gay men give their favorite gals Valentine's Day, but there's no sex involved because it's gay guys and straight.
According to the Urban Dictionary, it's celebrated today. Okay, really, you couldn't even. Okay. But okay, Galentine's is about celebrating lady friends. That's all it says. Lady friends.
Well, okay.
All righty. Mm-hmm. Another excuse for another day. Get get a different name day. Have you ever wanted to go by a different name?
Yeah, I wanted to go by no, not really.
No, nothing.
I was trying to remember woman's name from Flashdance, but I couldn't at the time.
Irene Cara.
No,
No, no. Okay. Uh, the
doesn't
now
matter.
the actress or the
The character,
yeah, I don't know.
because
Okay.
well,
Yeah,
you didn't tell him. I had my shirt off of my shoulders, so
I
I looked
saw
like
and it was a
no,
perfect
I know, but you
representation.
didn't tell anybody about it. So now
Okay.
I have to tell them, Matt should have gone, wow, you look like a maniac, but he didn't say it, so we're done.
See
We're
that
done.
that would have been a good thing, but you always look like a maniac girl. But he did. He had his shirt draped off his shoulder. He looked like a private dancer. It was just lovely. All right. Get a
Not
different
Tina
name
Turner.
day.
Oh, what? What?
I've wanted a different name day, and right now Nephi is rolling on the floor, howling hysterically. All right.
What other name do you want?
I went by many names, none of which I'm even going to talk about. All right. Although I did go by Sunglasses Burlingame when I was young, and I
Come on.
was in love with Corey so much. So much. All right. Get a different name day. Yeah, we did that one. Okay. International Epilepsy Day. Natural Day. I guess that's nudist. I don't know. It's a little cold. Kiss Day. Madly in Love with Me Day. Everybody celebrates that day. World Radio. Oatmeal. National Tortelli. Tort.
Is that tortilla?
No, I could do that one. Tortin Tortellini. Good God, girl. Okay. Oh my God, it is your national holiday. Fuck. It's National Poop Day. Keep trying to make it known. It's not funny. Just stop it. But here we are. It's just thrown in my face.
I would love to throw my poo in your face.
I know you would.
But I haven't pooed
Sean,
today. I
that's what
pooed
Sean said.
twice yesterday.
Oh God. Okay. So this is break up with your carrier day.
Um,
Yeah, don't even. And National Cheddar Day and Crab Rangoon. Oh, also football hangover.
Crab Ragoon Day, yay.
So that means that like football season's over, right?
Yes.
Thank goodness. I mean, not that it's bothered me that much. I've been able to avoid it, but mm, anyway.
I think if you went to more tailgating, you'd like football better.
Oh, I tailgate a lot. All right. Um, let's see. Okay. Birthdays. There we are.
Birthdays.
Yes. Moving on. Moving on. Train wreck. Ah. Today's birthdays. David and Dave. Two different people named David. That's lovely. Let's see. Do. We did those. Okay. Anthony, Patrick, Lucy, Stephen, Robert, Cindy. We have Brandon, Michael, Tommy, and Larry. Happy birthday, everybody. We hope you enjoy your special day. And we got to clean all the stuff out so that we can get ready for. Oh, well, that's interesting. I posted the What's in Your Lunchbox on the wrong place in Facebook. Oh, well, my bad. Just shows you how well that day is going, doesn't it? We do have some feedback, and that's from Sean, and he wrote in and said, "Haven't seen the new Night Court yet, but how how in the world Dan Fielding survived hashtag Me Too is beyond me." I will say that I understand that sentiment. However, apparently during that time he was in love with a wonderful woman that changed him wholeheartedly, and well, now she's not with us any longer. So very sad. But yeah, that would have been an interesting thing, wouldn't it? The old Dan, that character probably could not exist now. Thoughts?
Um, uh, Archie Bunker, George Jefferson.
I'm talking about Dan Fielding
Oh,
from
I'm talking about other people who need to be Me Too'd as well.
Well, what I'm saying is
Uh, oh,
that
uh,
they exist now on television.
Mel, Kiss My Grits. Yeah, all those characters are these these male characters that got away with shit whatever
Hmm.
they wanted to during that time period because they were white males. Well, except for Jefferson, George Jefferson. But
Hmm.
I mean, this is the same ugly lot that's been around for years and years and years and years. And you go through 70s and 80s television. I'm surprised Red's still around with the way he threatened to beat those kids all the time on the 70s show.
Put my foot up your ass. Yeah. Well, I guess that's kind of innocuous these days. The what was the one? I still remember watching one episode of Tabitha. Do you remember this show?
Oh, is
It
this the
was
rape one?
yeah, it was the Bewitched spinoff where it was a giant Russian wrestler who was practically raping Tabitha, and she wasn't using her magic against him. She was trying, and then she was just trying to get away from him. And then when somebody walked in, he was actually going to leave, and then was kind of like, "Oh, wait." And then she said, "Oh, no, no, it was all a misunderstanding. There's nothing wrong, blah, blah, blah." And I'm just thinking, are you fucking kidding? I would have
But
zapped him to the moon.
you know what happened after that?
Mm-mm.
You remember that scene in The Boys where the guy crawled in the other guy's wiener?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. Of course, there was nobody else in there, but what she did was she took the um okay, you know the fireplace
Gonna be
grate,
pretty people.
the
Yeah.
grate that you put the wood on and it's kind of flared out.
My God.
Well, she took that and as he was driving home, she sent that into his urethra.
Oh dear. Oh
Yeah.
my. And it
So
was just, and the story
he
was
won't do
just
that
and
again.
flames were coming out the side of his penis. Anyway, that's lovely. All
It
right.
wasn't on fire. It was just a large piece of cast
Very
iron
rare
that
form
was
of life.
jetting out of his crotch.
Do you have any chub hugs?
I do.
Two.
To Mr. Moose's husband who's sick today.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He is sick. We're sorry to hear that.
Wish him
Uh,
well, but it's
He's
good
on
that
double time taking care of him.
it's not COVID,
That's good.
just a cold. And we got to get back to the fact that sometimes it's not life threatening, it's just a cold. Let's all just breathe if we can. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um, that's good. Well, my chub hugs go out to Mr. Michael Sage, who is recovering from a little something himself, to Turkey and Syria, which I'm sure you send chub hugs out to as well. From all the
oh my God, have you seen the pictures from there?
I have seen some, but I have avoided a lot of it.
Well, what was weird was when we were talking about it before, it was like, okay, I figured when they were talking about the loss of life that we were talking about mountainous regions, which it was in mountainous regions, but these were mountainous regions that had that looked like a major little city. They had buildings and built and these, I mean, it's not California, so we know that if you don't have strict rules on the way things are built, they're going to be built like shit.
Yeah.
And but the and so many of the what they high rises, their apartment buildings, they may have only been 10 stories high. That's still pretty high, and
Yeah.
especially for an earthquake, and that brought those a lot of those quite a few buildings down. But the horrible thing about it was because they were so far away from any major metropolitan area, um, it took 4 or 5 days before they got any help at all. So all those people buried,
Hmm.
stayed buried. They're pulling bodies now, and it's not,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah. I
I
heard on
mean,
the news how they were.
they had a few, happy stories, but
Yeah.
If you don't have um, major help from the government, with things like plows and things that you need to pull up that kind of a side of a
Yeah.
building, you're not going to be able to get in there, and it's a horrible. And it's, I think they're up to what, 40,000 people now.
The last I saw was 33,000, but it very well by this morning could have been.
Yeah, it's just it's terrible. And
It's almost unfathomable when
well, and the thing is that if it happens in these kind of areas that aren't California, I mean, look what happened to the place in Florida, the apartment building that just collapsed because they didn't have any major uh, laws against how buildings are brought up and where they're brought up, and whether or not the ground that they're put on can support the building or even support anything when they're that close to the water. So,
right.
it's it's all pretty ugly, but it's scary. That's why I get nervous. I remember in Los Angeles when I'd go on an audition down to the uh down to some of the big buildings, and I remember being on this one building down in Culver, was it Culver? No, wherever it was. I'm in this building and I'm on like the 50th floor in Los Angeles. Don't like that to begin with.
Uh,
And the thing is that when the wind would blow, you could feel it in the building. You could
no,
feel
thank you.
swaying. And also, parking structures and stuff like that could affect the way the build. It was. I'm like, I just want to get in my car and be somewhere where
Mhm.
I'm not going to have something huge fall on top of me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, that's no, thank you.
yeah.
No. Um, so yes, definitely love and chub hugs out to them. And also big chub hugs out to Rihanna, who performed a concert last night. And
You lip sync through the concert?
well, from the vitriol I saw on Facebook, I mean, there was a few people that were very happy to see her out doing stuff, and there were some, but most of them just hated her. She was the most horrible performer ever. Uh, she just, her lip syncing. Which one of the things that pisses me off about the whole lip syncing shit is in these giant venues like this, since the fucking 60s, 70s, when these things were, they have had stuff, the lip syncing stuff over a track for fucking ever. Forever. And it's often because sound systems in that type of thing are unreliable and can fail very easily. So singing live is sometimes not always, an option, although she was singing live a lot of the time. But what's her name? The Simpson sister decided to go on, or went on SNL, fucked up her lip syncing, and ever since then, suddenly everybody has a shit fit whenever something isn't live. I don't fucking get it. But, why watch RuPaul then? It's not called Sing Live, Fear Life. Anyway,
Well,
uh,
yeah, actually, it's considered a taboo to not sing like on Saturday Night Live. It's live.
yeah.
That's in the title. So that's why she got in trouble for that. And they've gotten in trouble for that before. But as far as I don't give a shit about the halftime show anyway. But
Well,
um
I think that for somebody who hasn't performed for a while, she's fucking pregnant again, and she gets
okay,
out there and she does a damn good job, but people just want to shit all over. And I think this is a problem. I think that we have created, I mean, we used to joke, quote unquote, joke about having created uh, a normalcy for negativity, but I have never seen it as bad as it is now. where everything, just everything everybody has to say. There are people that we love on Facebook who cannot post about a movie or a TV show without shitting on it. Who cannot, I mean, if they like something, they won't even post it. But man, if they hate it, boy, is it everywhere. Anyway, normalcy of negativity. You need to,
Ukraine.
girl, yes. We also had some actors who passed away. Actor Cody Longo, who was from Days of Our Lives, he died and he was only 34.
Did we find out why he died? Or how,
Now,
you know,
I didn't see it
yeah,
yet.
okay, I didn't see it. Okay.
And of course, you mentioned, well, I don't know if you mentioned while we were recording, but we talked about Burt Bacharach dying, and I think you mentioned on the last show. Raindrops keep falling on my head, in case anybody doesn't, know one of his more popular songs.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
That's such a
Um,
good song.
what's new, Pussycat? Whoa,
Oh,
whoa,
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 whoa. Even
yeah.
though everybody thinks that was Tom Jones wrote it.
Well, it was Tom Jones, but remember, Burt Bacharach was a songwriter.
Right. That's what I
Burt
mean.
Bacharach, Hal David. They also did the musical Promises, Promises, which had what do you get when you kiss a guy? You get enough germs to catch pneumonia. After you do, they'll never phone you. You don't know that?
No, but now I want to.
Oh,
What
I don't know. You don't know that song.
is
How
that
about
from?
that's from Promises, Promises?
Wow. I'm gonna
It
have to
also had um oh God, now of course I'm going completely blank. Oh, a chair is still a chair.
was that him? I love that
That's
song.
them. They I mean, not just raindrops keep falling on my head. He
Right.
also wrote That's What Friends Are For.
Did
Um,
he?
yeah, and remember Arthur's theme? Once
Yes.
in your life you find it. Okay, and then another big
Oh,
one.
that's another one of my favorites,
Remember
actually.
Patti LaBelle? On my
Did
own.
he? Oh, that's right. I remember hearing that he wrote that.
Yeah.
That and Michael McDonald
Well, Michael McDonald was a
was
singer.
the yeah, on the song. I love that one.
Yeah. So it's hundreds and hundreds. I went through just going, oh my God, I didn't realize he wrote that one too. He
Uh-huh.
wrote that too. Oh my God.
Well, that's him and your boy, your other one, who wrote so much fucking music that we had no idea that he wrote.
Paul Williams.
Yes,
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the songwriter thing isn't as prevalent now as it was back like during the 60s,
Hmm.
50s and 60s. I mean, being a songwriter was the hot thing at that point. But um, basically, what has happened over time is that um, the, we now know that the songwriter constantly gets paid for the song forever.
Yeah.
So, if you've written a song that, well, like I always bring up um, Baker Street. The Sherlock Holmes one that was done years ago.
Okay.
Way down the street, there's a light in his place. He opens the door. He's got that look on his face. He asks you with a pin, and
Hmm.
yeah, Ba-da-da-da-da-da. That song. Okay, that guy Jerry Rafferty wrote that song. Had a hit single from it, and he was making up until to the time of his death. He was making about, I think they said like 70 grand a year just off royalties.
Oh, well, we need to write some songs.
I know. Other songs from Promises, Promises are I Say a Little Prayer for You.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Know that one.
Let's see, Knowing When to Leave, which is not a really well-known song, but I like that a lot. It's talking about in a relationship, you have to know when to leave, and it's a really cool song. Um, Carpenters did a version of it. Then there's Turkey Lurkey Time, which is the only Thanksgiving song.
And yeah, they did a version of that on Glee, so most of the younger people know that.
Right, right. Um, let's see. Where we are, I love you. Christmas Day. It's a wonderful Christmas song that never got a lot of hype, but it's on the wonderful Robert Goulet album, Christmas album. So I'd like to see that one get more
Right.
exposure. I'll Never Fall in Love Again, Promises, Promises. Yeah, lots of songs in that
Wow.
show. Um,
I have to
and
go. I'll have to go look that up
yeah,
and take a
just
watch.
um, gosh, I just love Burt Bacharach. Okay, go ahead. And the other person was um, a wonderful Melinda Dillon, who you'd remember as the mother in A Christmas Story, but you'd also remember her as Carrie's mom in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So
Oh, right. Yes.
she was the one getting to the mountain with uh, Richard Dreyfuss. She's been around for years and years and years, and she finally those two movies, catapulted her into like as superstardom as you can get for a woman her age at that time.
Right.
So yeah, she was doing really well, and it's sad to see her go. It was weird because they had the new Christmas Story, and I was wondering why they had replaced her with uh, what's her name? But they had replaced her in the show, and I guess she probably wasn't well enough to do it.
Right.
Because
Yeah. Well, I guess she had something that was she'd had for a little bit. So okay. All right. And with that, Tom wants to talk to you about.
okay, well, so now I started watching Yellowstone. This is the um, Kevin Costner TV series set in Montana, and it's about a family who's dealing with um, the oh God, what do we call them now? The people who lived there before the white man came. What do we call
Indigenous
them?
people.
Indigenous people. They're dealing with the indigenous people. They're dealing with years of because their families owned property in Montana for hundreds of years, um, against what the indigenous people want. And then of course there's the people of the town that these guys live in that are tired of Costner's family saying how things are run because they own the most land in the area type thing. Really good show. It's a kind of like Succession, but with horses.
Uh,
So it's but boy, I mean, I'm only a few episodes in, and there's bodies everywhere. Bodies. Yeah.
Boy.
They you kill off people that get in your way. It doesn't matter if you're on a horse or you're a gangster or what. They
Hmm.
know how to do that. Let's see, American Auto's back on NBC and Peacock with Anna Gasteyer. Love her. Kochek, the Night Stalker. This week, we had Skinwalkers. We had Spanish Moss, and it was a Spanish moss monster from Louisiana. So it was a bayou monster.
Okay.
Okay. Then the next monster was an energy eating monster. So it ate, like all your electricity and caused problems. And then the one I saw yesterday was it was where were they from? Like a Pakistani rat monster that was killing people. And I told Brian this. I said I think the reason why Night Stalker didn't last was they couldn't think of any more monsters.
Yeah.
They just ran out of monsters to highlight, and because I mean, the Energy Eater was episode 10, so we're only halfway through, and we are running out of monsters out of a 22, you know, episode season.
I have to do a Wendigo.
They've already done that.
They did a Wendigo?
Well, they talked about a Wendigo,
Oh,
so
wow.
I don't remember if it
That
was a
was like
Wendigo.
episode 3 of Charmed.
Yeah, so let's see. You're going to talk about Bachelor. I'm just about done with National Treasure. All the episodes are up, by the way. So if you planning on binging, which I think actually is the best way to handle this show, is to binge once they're all out, which they are now, is binge it because trying to keep a like a hunt, we're hunting for stuff, doesn't go quite as far when uh it's a week in between episodes. It
Right.
just it's not that it's not interesting, it's just by the time I'm back to where I was, the episode's almost over. So that's my only complaint with it. RuPaul this week they did a remake. Well, they didn't remake, they were doing a new episode of Daytona Winds, which they had done yet last year, and this is where all they're all playing women in this family that's run by Big Daddy, but Big Daddy's just passed. So his mistress shows up at the will reading, and his ex-wife is there, and it's just ugly, ugly, and they throw in farts in the background. So
Yeah.
it was good. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. So remember, I was trying to figure out watching The Last of Us why episode 3 would be about the gay romance that never
Yeah.
really they made mention of him being gay in the game, but they never really talked about him having a big romance, according to what my sources are telling me.
Mm.
Um, so what happened was in episode 4, Bill, who was the one of the gay characters, he sent them off, the main characters off with a truck. And so while in the truck, the girl is in the back seat, the guy's driving, and she finds one of his dirty magazines in the back seat. And so we would never know Bill was gay if we hadn't seen episode 3 first, and that gave us why the joke of the porn magazine in the backseat was funny. So we did a whole episode to make reference to that one shot in episode 4.
Well, at least it was an episode that made everyone feel that the show was inclusive for everybody.
But
Yes. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't have any interest in watching it, but the way that everybody, I mean, it was a good reaction from everyone, so at least that's something, I think. It was
okay.
a good reaction.
Um, just so glad you're up on your humor. Poker Face, I'm watching on Peacock, and so which is Natasha Leone. It's such a good show. If you're not watching it, you're missing. Unless you don't have Peacock, and then it's understandable. But
Mm.
um, we're just the last episode of Velma has dropped. I'm going to watch that, and so that'll be the end of season 1, and they're surely setting it up for season 2. But the way I'm hearing how people are acting, will there be a season 2? We'll see.
Mm.
Um, Skinwalker Ranch. I'm just eating those up like crazy on Discovery. The only problem is there's only 11 episodes, and I'm watching them so fast, but they're really good. We're finding out some really interesting stuff that's going on under that mesa. Oof, girl, that mesa.
Mm.
Um, let's see, Physical 100. I'm waiting for the new episode. I think the new episode drops today. I mean, this is so boring. It takes 2 full episodes to do a challenge. And they're making, it's weird because if you're going, oh yeah, we're watching I don't know, think of a sports person. And oh look, there's that sports person. I know who they are. I know who none of these people are. And they're kind of like chatting like, oh, I'm so famous. How could you not know me? That thing. It's weird. Um, let's see. Southland or South Park is back on Comedy Central. You can also catch it on HBO Max. Uncoupled, which we found out was canceled by Netflix, is picked up by Showtime. So it looks like Showtime might be trying to go gay again, since going black for them didn't seem to work very well. Uh, what's that face for?
I Don't have any idea what that means.
Because they were focusing a lot of their programming towards a black audience.
Showtime?
Showtime.
And
They've been
not
doing
just
that.
in February?
No, they've been doing that over the past couple of years, and it
Yeah, see,
wasn't
I don't know Showtime, so okay,
right.
okay.
And so I think what they're doing is they're going back to their old ways, which was,
Queer as
remember when
folk.
they had Queer as Folk, they had the L Word, they had Brothers, they had all sorts of
Oh,
um, gay and lesbian stories that were going on Showtime, and they were doing really well with that. Where I think you got Damn It Stars, which is heavily featured towards black characters and black stories. I think they're actually outdoing Showtime, and I think that's why Showtime's shifting. And Showtime's also talking about picking up, not picking up, but actually partnering with Paramount Plus
hmm.
streaming. So they'll go from being just streaming Paramount Plus or Showtime to joining them together.
That reminds me. Oh, well, I challenge them. If there's any Showtime people listening, I challenge you to do both. We all need representation. However, there was somebody just picked up Coupling, Uncoupled for a
Yes,
second season.
Showtime.
Was that Showtime?
That's what I was talking about. Are you not listening to me?
I was
That's why I'm
listening. I
saying
just
they're
didn't.
bringing in more gay storylines. So I think they may be gearing up to go back in that direction that worked for them back during the 70s and 80s. Well, the 90s. It was
Mm-hmm.
huge for them. Let's see. Finally, I saw a show called You People, keeping up with what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You People is about Jonah Hill, and it's Jonah Hill. He meets this black woman. They hit it off. They start dating. They want to get married, and Jonah Hill's parents are Jewish. Her parents are Eddie Murphy, and I can't remember the woman right at the top who plays the mother, but they're both very extreme Jews and black. Like he's into Farrakhan, and the Jews are not. So there's a lot of conflict between the parents and religion, so that makes it tough for the kids. So it's almost like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, but instead of, because in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, the whole theme of the show was, hey, there's a black guy in the house. Where in this one, they're trying to merge the families together, and their conflicts are crazy.
Huh.
So it's on Netflix. It's funny. It's not as funny as I think it could have been. It should have been over the top funny. And in this, it was trying to be somewhat serious. And I'll tell you, when Julie Louis Dreyfus
Uh-huh.
is trying to be a hip white woman dealing with black black women, and like hair and makeup and style and everything, she's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. You just not believe how uncomfortable it is. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot of that. And the one, my favorite part was David Burney. Wait, was it David Burney? Yeah, David. No, it wasn't David Burney. It was the other guy. And one of an old Jewish actor. He's not even he a very popular Jewish actor from the 70s now is playing very old Jewish man, obviously. And he's trying to get Jonah Hill to show him his wiener
Huh.
at this event, and he goes, "Mom, so and so just tried to get me to show them my wiener," and she goes, "Oh yeah, he's a pedophile."
Oh, crazy.
It was so awkward and funny, but yes. Um, but I just I think if the show was just crazy over the top, it would have been better than I think they were trying to be too thought provoking. And come on, you got Eddie Murphy and Julie Louis Dreyfus. We want funny. Let's have more funny.
Okay.
So, how about Together? What did we watch together? That
Well, what did we watch together? We watched Night Court, episode 5. That was the one about the apartment. and the judge didn't want to take advantage of her role to snag a really good apartment, but in the end, actually, it was one of the better written of the last few episodes.
Well, maybe they're just getting their footing.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
I hope they get it. I guess it's already been renewed for season two, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was fun. I liked it. It was delightful. Then we have episode three, The Bachelor, with Zach. The and this is the unsafe Mandrell. I feel so unsafe when I'm around her. She said things to me. She talks about herself. I'm unsafe. Like, oh,
Now
girl.
that's not Katrina, is it?
Yeah, the Mandrell sister.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize they were the same person. Okay.
Yeah, the one that was
Yeah.
crying on the steps. Help me, help me, help me, help me.
You know what it reminds me of? Oh God, what was the show? It was Divine's mother in Female Troubles after she throws her into the tree.
Oh,
And she's
oh
like, "Oh, not on Christmas." That's how Kat was laying in the stairwell as people were like trying to get up and down the stairs past
yeah.
her, and she's like crying and stuff. That was so hilarious, so hilarious.
Well,
Um,
I
yeah,
feel bad for her on a human level, but oh my goodness, girl. That was messy. That was so messy. But yeah, she came on too strong, and the others said, and who was it? The outer? It was America's Rose, who basically said, "Look, Zach, girl, I ain't feeling this. So I'm just gonna flat out tell you this woman, she's screwing with all of us, and you need to get rid of her. Oh, bye." So yeah, two of them, two of the more prominent featured ones are gone now.
yeah, I know it was a much better episode than the week before.
Yeah, but
Um,
now the question is, who's left that we actually know? Like, we knew who they were, you know, we knew their names, or at least, one was the America's Rose, the other one was the Mandrell girl. Who do we know of the rest of them? And
uh,
he spent the night with several of them.
Horror.
I know, he's a big hee whore.
Yeah, I hate when they sleep together.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't care, but it is like, oh, I'm dating, currently dating 30, 25, 22,
Yeah, but
whatever the
what
number
this
of it is. And I slept with three of them on the last show.
what it reminds me of is how uh
Mystery
well,
date.
it's like Zach does this, so now everybody that's the bachelor is going to expect to sleep with all of the bachelorettes,
Right.
and
Now, who
that's
knows if they're actually having sex, but they're definitely canoodling. So,
yeah, it's gross. It's gross.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know. It will be interesting to see who takes the front run. I thought Bailey was going to, but didn't they get rid of Bailey?
yeah, she's already gone, isn't
Yeah.
she? I think she's
I
gone.
I don't they okay, this is gonna sound horrible, but all these thin young women with long hair, they all look alike to me. I can't keep them all I don't know the names yet. Yeah, I probably won't until there's about 10 of them, then I'll start figuring out who the hell they are.
You sound terrible. You sound
I
very
know. It's women.
such a
Women.
sexist person.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's kind of
jump
like
to
how I can't tell.
physical 100. Jump to that one so you can get yourself out of this.
Oh, okay. So physical 100, I can't tell most of them apart either because they're all so beautiful. They're just yummy. Anyway, this is episodes 5 and 6. Oh, episode 5 and 6, and this is the one where the big challenge is them pulling a 2-ton ship across the room.
State.
Yeah. Um, I mean, it was okay. I like that they, are paring down. You're starting to be, uh, the riffraff are gone. Although some of the riffraff were so hot. Anyway,
But
but
you understand what I'm saying. I mean, it's like it takes two episodes to do one challenge,
yes, yep,
and
yep.
and so all the filler time they're talking about these people who I don't know who they are.
Uh-huh. Or
Um,
they're creaming their jeans over all the health products in the lounge, or they're trying to jump up on the really high things to see how hard they can.
they're just pissing. Let's
Yeah.
see who can piss
And
the furthest.
that's all this is. Honestly, it's one of those things where there's some movies that you go in for the action and you don't expect a plot. You just turn your brain off, eat your popcorn, and watch a bunch of things blow up, and you're like, okay, that's what I'm here for. That's good. With this one, you go whether you're into guys or the girls, you go in to look at really pretty hot people doing doing physical stuff and acting all butch and macho. And that's all it is. And that's all it needs to be. It doesn't pretend to be anything else. All right. How I Met Your Mother, Season 2, Episode 3, Dinner with a Real Man. So this show is so forgettable that I've already forgotten what one this is.
Well, I
What
remember that the three girls went out together and they didn't like the two girls didn't like each other until they started bitching about the lesbian character.
that's true. Yeah.
Um, so there's that, and then um, oh, they went out with the one girl because they wanted her mileage, her miles, airline
Okay.
miles,
I remember that now. Yeah.
and then I don't. Oh, then the painting.
That's what it was, the real
Yeah,
man thing. Okay, so
that's
it
the real
was
man thing. Yeah.
it was the guy from was it Mad TV, Michael McDonald?
Yeah.
Okay, and I forget who was the woman. She was really familiar, but I didn't bother looking her
She
up.
didn't look familiar to me, so
I think she is a comedian. But anyway, the two of them, yeah, invite the photographer girl and the guy that was in her photography, the big picture, and he turns out to have a YouTube channel where he's all like, "Oh, I'm a big macho man, and women need to be oppressed." And well, there you go. And then they try to steal the painting.
yeah,
Very
it,
simple plot. I
it
mean,
was
it was fine.
terrible.
It's just filler
No,
television.
it was a terrible episode.
It was better than the last two.
Oh,
That's
the last one, the one with the baby thing.
ugh,
Oh, that was gross. It
yeah.
was, I mean, it was boring and it was gross because they threw shrimp in that baby pool thing.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
It just,
Yes, that was like, oh, and then she was in it. She was having a baby in a pool that had shrimp in it. Like
yeah,
that's horrible. Poor shrimp. Anyway, then I watched the oh, are you watching this yet? The Great British Baking Show, The Professionals?
I haven't yet, but go ahead.
Okay. So I actually finished it. If you don't want,
I don't want to
it's
know
not
that.
it's not spoilers. I couldn't even tell you who won because the teams were really the only teams that I liked were voted off early. The judges are so bitchy. And the thing is it's the Great British Baking Show, but almost everybody on it is like either French or Romanian or just teams from all over the world. And the the judges, the guy is French, and he's oh my, sorry, I thought Tom was having a gasm. Uh, but the guy is French, and he's so oh this is the worst. How you say this is the worst
Accent.
particular I ever had in my life. Oh, it's so disgusting. And then and I won't even attempt because I'll get canceled, but she is uh a very small Asian, middle-aged Asian woman, and has a very heavy accent, which I'm like, okay, I'm going to love her because I love little Asian women with strong accents and big personalities. Oh my gosh, she was so obnoxious and annoying. And she had this thing where, like, it's a tiny little candy, but she still has to cut it in half and use a fork tongue to taste the what's inside of it. And she goes, I don't like it. It's too bitter. Oh, it's not to die for. I want to die because I hate it. It's horrible. Mean judges. I don't like mean judges. Anyway, so if you just don't, if you're bored, you have nothing else, watch it. Otherwise, and the people that they had on the show in the teams, almost every single episode, everything that they tried to build as a big showstopper fell apart.
Okay.
And then I watched Lockwood and Company.
Okay.
Have you completed it?
I have.
Yep, so have I. And I will be up for season two.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
You know, I like I said, anytime I get a teenage paranormal group, I'm excited.
yeah, and it was very much you're like, wow, these guys should be home, like, going to their high school rugby teams and shit, but they're out risking their lives to save the world after the big event back in the 70s or whatever it was. Um, so they're basically ghost hunting and they have talent so that they can see or hear different things on the of the ghosts. And then they meet the big ghosts, and there's a whole conspiracy where they try to find the big conspiracy. And well, they do, but none of it really matches up or makes much sense. But who cares? It was fun. So, although, what is it with these shows like this now getting these kind of nondescript, like, female leads? Like, she looks like every other female lead in every show like this in
Okay,
the past few
go back to
years.
the 70s and 80s. Okay, movies. Well, actually, the 80s. 80s is a really good example.
Okay.
Go back to the 80s, and who played Marty McFly's girlfriend in Back to the Future?
That was Leah Thompson. No, that was
That's
the
his mother. That's not his girlfriend.
she wanted to be his girlfriend.
Yeah, well, that's not the way it works.
Um, wow, she was really popular for a
Hey,
while.
how about the girl that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Oh, it was the same girl.
Is it?
I don't know.
Mm. What I'm saying is that Hollywood's been doing this for years.
Oh, I
They go
totally.
out and they get themselves a recognizable man, and then they find the cheapest actress they can find to throw in because it really doesn't matter because she's just an actress, and
Well, yeah, but the thing was,
terrible.
this actress was supposed to be the lead in the show, and she was actually a really good actress, but
I
she
know.
was so plain Jane nondescript. Like, I swear, if you show me a picture of her 2 months from now, I'll be like, I don't know who that is.
Right. Well, but that's how Hollywood works. Yeah,
Yeah.
whether it's Hollywood or it's London, wherever that's being done, they, for some reason, they just do not like the women.
I guess so, but I felt bad for her in a way because she did a really good job. So anyway, it's worth the watch, definitely. On my own, unless there's anything that I'm forgetting, because that's all I watched that I know of that we both watched.
Wait, were you just quoting Burt Bacharach again?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I do. That's how I roll.
You
Um,
said on my own.
uh, on my own. So Spring Baking Championship season 9 is the only other thing that I watched, and it was fucking worse than season 8. It was the Easter one. They changed the format. They changed. Now I will say that I liked the judges and I liked the host, but the show was so romper room, weird ass set up, cutesy, over the top. I did not care. I was glad when it ended because I can say I watched all the seasons and now I'm back to British comedies at night. So Yeah.
Okay.
We want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Market Clothing wants those of you who have been told that you're too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And Chubs Gone Wild listeners, you can use that code. I use You can use the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything over at fatmarketclothing.com. And then we move into advice. Hey, so Tom, I hear that you are familiar with the WoW, with the World of Warcraft. I played
No,
a
I'm
little
not.
this weekend. How you doing?
What are you talking about?
Aren't you playing World of Warcraft?
No,
Oh, well, that's not very nice. It's really fun. You should play. Give you something to do.
I got plenty to do.
Uh-huh. All right, ready? Here's the advice. My girlfriend and I have been seeing each other for 4 months. When we started dating, she told me she doesn't usually go for guys as physically attractive as me. Which I found odd. She's very cute, but not the hottest girl I've dated. Her intelligence, personality, and character are why I've fallen in love with her. Things have been great until the last 2 weeks when she started becoming more distant and less affectionate toward me. Last weekend, she went with her girlfriends to the Caribbean for a brief vacation. I barely heard from her the week after she got back, but we both have demanding jobs. I ordered flowers. It sounds so familiar. I ordered flowers to be delivered to her office, and then she called me and said that she no longer wants to be in a relationship and that I'm way more attractive than her previous partners. I asked, had I done anything wrong? And she replied, I've been perfect. But she said, while on vacation, she barely missed me. She said she fears if we continue, I'll find someone better looking or worse, cheat on her like her last boyfriend. I asked her to reconsider since a weekend of no communication is too short a time to make such a huge decision, and she agreed. I feel like I'm being dumped based on my looks. I don't want to lose her, but I wonder if it's worth it to get back together if she reconsiders. Do her girlfriends have something to do with this? What should I do? Girl, you're so pretty. Just go out and get a new partner. You'll get one in no time.
Yeah, get a better looking girlfriend because this one
Oh,
you have isn't she's not the greatest
I
looking.
mean, her intelligence, personality, and character are nice, but
Yeah, but come on, you know what people don't see when you're at a restaurant? Her intelligence. They
mm,
just see whether or not you're with that hag of a girlfriend, which you're obviously better looking than she is. So no,
right,
you what you need to do is you need to just, go out and date yourself because you're a fucking idiot.
right. And
Uh,
while you're at
she's
it,
leaving you because you'd actually send somebody a letter that says, "Well, she's not the best looking girl I've ever gone out with." And I'm sure that if you can tell a perfect stranger this, you're probably telling your friends this, who are also probably her friends. And it's probably getting back to her, and she's thinking, "What kind of fucking loser is this guy?"
well, yeah, and by the way, you should send us nudes so that we can see just how attractive you are.
What's
Just,
wrong with you?
just saying. What? It's a thing.
What did
All
we
right.
watch last night? We watched something last night where, it was RuPaul's Drag Race.
I don't get to
Uh,
watch that anymore.
well, when the person that got sent home is leaving,
Mhm.
they're reading all the letters. She's reading the letters, and she goes, "Oh, it's been so nice meeting you. Oh, you're the best person in the whole world. I can't wait to be friends out of here. Send nudes."
Ah,
And they all had put send nudes on it.
oh, that's
So I
funny.
thought
Was it the really hot Asian guy?
yeah.
He's so hot. I'm sorry, but he was the hot one of that season. I'm sorry that he went, but anyway. All right. Well, let's see what Dear Prudie had to say. Oh, by the way, Dear Prudie, slate.com. Go check them out. Even though you are gorgeous and attentive and perfect, it might simply be that this woman is just not that into you. If that's the case, neither her quiet contemplation nor your elaborate bouquets will change her mind. It may be that telling you that you're too handsome is her for her is nicer than saying you're too dull. Ooh, you're suspicious that her jealous gal pals, while guzzling pina coladas and other witches' brews, helped convince her to break up with you. If your girlfriend dumps you, you'll have to answer to that if over the next few weeks you find yourself accidentally, winky winky, running into her eager friends. Your new love acknowledged that she thinks you're a this isn't making sense to me. Your new love acknowledged that she thinks your appeal to women is going to lead you to cheating on her. If that's a real fear, then she is one of those people who carry around for easier reference blinders labeled bad things that happened to me last time. That's an unattractive trait. It's true that a few men would be uncomfortable finding themselves with the best looking woman in the room on their arm, but I do think some women would be disconcerted by feeling like a drab peahen compared to the more colorful peacock. Let's say you're, get to the point, Prudy. Let's say your looks are at the heart of her concern, but she's willing to try again. You can't reassure her permanently by wearing a Halloween mask. She has to take the time to learn to trust. But if the girl of your dreams is so distressed by having a great looking guy be crazy about her, then you may need to be with someone who's more comfortable with what she sees when she looks in the mirror. So all that just to say, move on. Speaking of, let's move on. Hey, Chubs, what do you wish you were really good at?
I wished I played the piano.
Oh, that's good. My mom played the piano really well. I never could pick it up. Anyway, for me, singing. I would love to have a really good singing voice. Hey, Chubs, if your life really, are we doing that one? I guess so. No, let's not do that one. Let's do, hey Chubs, what was the last concert you went to?
I guess Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, that's same. I think that was the last one I went to. Unless we use the Rainbow Festival,
No.
then it would be like, Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, all them. But yeah. No, probably Cindy. All right. Well, what's in your lunchbox? You can tell us what's in. Oh, by the way, you can send us your questions for Hey Chubs at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. And you can send us what's in your lunchbox at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. And you can also find out what these pictures look like by going over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Mr. Michael Sage wrote in and he sent us a couple pictures of some banana bread that he made. And that is some big bread.
Well, yeah, it looks good. And I love the red that he used on the outside of the picture to really make it pop. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, it looks good. I'd like it warm with some butter, please.
And he sent me a picture of it warm with butter, but I was jealous, so I didn't use it. Anyway, let's see. And Mr. Moose wrote in, he said double cheeseburger with white cheddar from Denny's was good, and the seasoned fries were delicious. Uh, I'm not loving it.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of gray. Fries look really good though. I mean, don't
You
get me wrong, I would totally eat it, but
I mean,
just
it's just that it's a white cheese that kind of goes
yeah,
translucent when it's
no,
heated. Now,
yeah.
my thing, I would remove the pickle and the tomato, but otherwise, that looks really good.
Hmm. I like the bun. All right.
And it's Denny's.
Yes, I know,
Shocking.
right? That was weird.
Yeah.
Um, well, I shouldn't say weird. It was different. All right. And then Phoenix Dave wrote in and said, Hubby surprised me when I got home with homemade crawfish etouffee. Etif, etouffee. It was
Etouffee.
wonderful. Yes, etouffee. It
Um,
was wonderful. And it looks wonderful.
this pan that he's made this in, I think I love that pan.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, I think I used to have one of these. If it's what it is, I got one, a turkey roaster that matches this pan, and these are the amazing pans. We used to make this great chili in the because it held the temperature. It was, oh my God, it was so good. But yes, yes to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
etouffee. It
You know, I
looks.
really I really wanted a wok to cook with lately.
You don't have a wok?
No, and I've really been wanting one.
Girl, go to a thrift store. I'm serious. You could
Okay.
probably pick one up for $5 at a thrift store.
Oh, because I know the Asian market over here had a one for like 18 that was really nice.
But that's new. What happens is people buy walks
Uh-huh.
and then they keep them for a few years because they never use them.
Mm.
And then they get rid of them and then you can pick them up at the thrift store.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
saying,
I didn't remember
I guarantee you'll find something at a thrift store.
that. Okay. Well, Golden Rule Services want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. PrEP is a medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. And find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find more about my books over at justkisstheguy.com, which was freshly updated. And find all our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yay! And thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Happy Valentine's Day to our chubby Valentine. Well, our
Our
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
To
And
Mr.
and you know what? Let's wish his hubby to get better so they can enjoy Valentine's where he's not sick. So
That's very true. We certainly don't want that. And for those of us who aren't doing the love thing on Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to us because of who we are. All right. And with that, remember the sun well. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
why what?